Today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to get more views on your videos, fast. The secret? A new strategy called the sequel technique. I recently used the sequel technique to get 25,339 views on one of my YouTube videos in about 2 weeks. One of my subscribers also used this strategy on one of his videos, and that video now has over 1 million views. And in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the entire process, step by step. Keep watching. Last year, I saw something that blew my mind. I was looking at where most of my YouTube views came from. And even though I rank in the top 3 on YouTube for popular keywords like video SEO, keyword research, and SEO tutorial, I noticed that most of my views didn't come from YouTube search. They came from suggested video. Mind blown. In my case, 25% of my views came from search, but 41% came from suggested video. Now, as a quick recap, suggested video is a section on the right-hand side of every video on YouTube, or underneath the video if you're on a mobile device. And if you can get your video to appear as a suggested video, you can get thousands or even millions of views. And the best way to do that? The sequel technique. In fact, when I used the sequel technique, this video from my channel racked up over 25,000 views in less than 3 weeks. And even though my video is a few months old now, views continue to roll in like clockwork. And it's all thanks to the sequel technique. In fact, 66% of the views on that video have come from suggested video, which, as you'll see in a minute, is by design. With that, it's time for me to show you the entire step-by-step process. Starting with step number 1, find a popular video in your niche. Your first step is to find a video in your industry with lots of views. Why? Remember, the goal of the sequel technique is to show up as a suggested video. And when you get your video to appear next to a popular video, lots of people will click over and watch your video. The question is, how do you find a popular video in your niche? Here are 2 simple strategies that work great. First, use YouTube search. All you need to do is search for a keyword that describes the video you want to make. Then keep an eye out for a video in the search results that already has lots of views. For example, when I searched for improved Google rankings, I noticed that this video had over 200,000 views. Bingo. You can also look at your competitors' most popular videos. Just head over to their channel and hit videos. Then sort by most popular. And just like that, you get a list of their top performing videos. For example, remember Jeff Rose, that guy I mentioned earlier? As you might remember, Jeff used the sequel technique to get over 1 million views on one of his videos. Well, when Jeff looked at his competitors' most popular videos, he found this one. So he went with that video for step number 1. Next, it's time for step number 2, create a bigger and better video, the sequel. So now that you found a popular video, it's time to create something bigger and better. Why is this important? Well, a while back, YouTube published a little-known research paper called Deep Neural Networks for YouTube Recommendations. And this paper outlined how suggested video probably works. As it turns out, YouTube focuses on something called expected watch time. Expected watch time is simple. It's YouTube's best guess of how much time someone will spend watching your video after they click on it. And needless to say, YouTube promotes videos that keep people on YouTube. So the higher your expected watch time, the better. For example, let's say you just published a video about cold brew coffee. Let's call it video A. And YouTube starts to show your video in the suggested video sidebar. But when people click over to your video, they only watch it for 30 seconds on average. YouTube knows that when someone clicks over to your video as a suggested video, it's only gonna result in 30 seconds of watch time. So that video has an expected watch time of 30 seconds. Now, let's say you create another video about cold brew coffee, video B. This time, people watch 2 minutes of your video on average. That video has an expected watch time of 2 minutes, 4 times more than video A. And because video B has a higher expected watch time, YouTube's gonna promote it in the suggested video sidebar like crazy. So as you can see, to show up as a suggested video, your video needs to keep people watching. And to keep people watching, your video needs to be awesome. That's where this step, creating the sequel, comes into play. With your sequel, you take the video that you found in step number 1 and make it better. In other words, you want your sequel to be more like Empire Strikes Back and less like episode 1. Here's exactly how to do it. First, create an awesome video intro. Why is this so important? Well, YouTube's data shows that the first 15 seconds